lot that I've been seeing recently is really showing to me how we don't really have any protection services or care for our black and brown women, because what's been happening over the last couple of weeks has been absolutely diabolical, and I want to just quickly bring everybody's attention to it. Hey guys, it's Marley. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Back again, it is daily and consistent content. Subscribe to the channel, click that button, inject it. I'm obviously off to my brother's wedding, so that's why I'm doing a whole tux moment. Before I go off, I obviously want to talk about some stuff. Trigger warning in place. There's going to be a lot of conversation about abusive nature of stuff. Triggering, traumatizing content is also going to be shown, so I just want to put that very strong trigger warning in place indeed. So I do feel like with the misogyny, there's misogyny noir, but I also feel like we just don't do enough to protect our brown women in the UK, or black women as well. And I feel like institutionally there's so many layers and depth of abuse, of racism, of colorism. It's just at length, as well as misogyny as well, that goes on, and this is what I'm referring to. So 4 or 5 days ago, a black woman was arrested, wrongly accused of dodging a bus fare, handcuffed in front of crying child. Now, mark my words, a lot more of this is going to happen by the Metropolitan Police. They are going to be arresting, traumatizing a lot of people of color on the streets, especially. We see how it is when it comes to the stats and numbers, which they don't lie. And the fact that she was arrested over a bus fare. Who gets arrested over a bus fare less than £2, even if you did not pay for it? Number one. Number two, handcuffing her as her child is crying. And she's like, what the hell is going on? My whole entire day's been ruined. And when you are triggered and traumatized by the police, which I know of by myself, and believe me when I tell you, when you are triggered and traumatized by the police, it does not get forgotten. What is that child going to go through as he grows up, as he gets older, seeing his mother being handcuffed, let alone her herself, over a bus fare that she actually did pay for, and the police were wrong and had to de-arrest. So you can de-arrest her, but can you de-traumatize both of them? No, you can't. So why are you wasting your time even trying to arrest somebody who didn't pay a bus fare in the cost of living crisis and ridiculousness, homelessness, inflation and rising, and not even paying NHS workers and etc., when you should be really focusing on significant crimes in the city, and that's what you should be focusing on. Or maybe the royal scammers in the royal family who've been taking money as, more taxpayers' money when they already have enough money as it is, but instead you want to waste time arresting a black woman on the streets, traumatizing these two people because she didn't pay for a bus fare when she actually did pay for a bus fare and it was less than £2. But that's where you want to keep your energy and traumatize people. That poor kid was crying. The video went viral a couple of days ago, had over 4 to 5 million views, and I was just like, what the hell? Those two people, the kid and the mother, are still traumatized today, even though everybody else has forgotten. And this is the sad thing about social media. People just forget and move on when it comes to seeing other people in pain. But those people in pain are still in pain every single day, because we all are human beings. And it's disgusting how they treated her with significant levels of misogyny and racism. And they would not have done that if it was somebody else. Guaranteed they would not have done that. Not only in reference to her, but recently a woman who goes by the name of Zayna Iman was stripped and left topless in a cell, and she says that she was drugged and R-worded and sexually assaulted, by the Greater Manchester Police. Now, when it comes to Manchester Police, I'm not surprised. They're just crooks in so many different ways. Unconscious with her hands cuffed behind her back, a woman is carried into a police cell. She is forced face down onto a thin mattress. Police officers take off her jeans, cut off her underwear, pull a pair of oversized custody shorts over her legs, and then remove her stuff. The woman in the footage is Zayna Iman, who alleged that she was drugged and, touched up whilst being held in custody. Instead of providing an unconscious female with medical attention, they said, let's take her clothes off. The police get a kick out of their own perverse kicks. Police broke into her home in the early hours of February 2021 and arrested her after she knocked the glasses off a female officer's face. From that period where she's claiming that, she was touched up and drugged up and whatever, there are 3 hours of missing footage which GMP are failing to supply. Zayna's allegations are also further supported by her medical records, which show evidence of sexual injuries. She's also shared her concerns with former GMP Chief Superintendent Martin Harding, who agrees that there are inconsistencies with the custody log and says her claims are very much credible. GMB has not explained why the footage has gone missing, but says there's currently no evidence to suggest any employees have misconducted themselves or committed a criminal offence, even though the fact that there is actual injuries that support medically, biologically her claims and what she's saying. And the footage that she wanted to get back has been missing. It's actually wild. And, I'm going to leave the link so you can read this, far more in depth. But they've just absolutely gotten away with it. They knew what they were doing. They knew why they could do it to a brown woman, because they can do stuff like that and get away with it. It has become a big issue. She's now triggered and traumatized for the rest of her life. And believe me, I know when you have been drugged and R-worded, and I've been in that position, as we all know, when things went public, whatever last year, I know how that feels like and how it triggers you, traumatizes you in such significant places, rewires your brain chemistry. Sexual trauma is very significant, but instead people will just laugh at it and think you're using it as some kind of excuse, when it's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. And people don't actually understand sexual abusive trauma and how it really rewires your brain chemistry biologically, and I think that people's stories and what she's gone through should be listened to, because she didn't harm anyone, she didn't hurt a person, she was drugged and the police took complete advantage of her. I feel like there is this whole epidemic of black and brown women on the streets of London in the UK who are not protected, do not have the right services, do not have the right protection services, let alone enough therapy services, when they are not protected and traumatized and they are left to defend on their own. And it is absolutely disgusting. And this video has been lamenting on my mind for the last couple of days, but I thought I would just sit down and do a quick video about it, because I think it is disgusting how there A, are not enough services anyway, and B, how these people can get away with it. Absolute waste men. These police who are handcuffing that woman of her bus fare and are allegedly doing this stuff, drugging and R-wording and whatever, absolute waste men, disgusting. Because if it was their mothers, God forbid, who went through that same position, they'll be crying, sobbing, and will do anything in their power to prevent that from happening. But when you put on that whole uniform, there's this moral superior kind of attitude of I can do what I want because of X, Y, Z, and it is disgusting. The people that are meant to look after our communities and the UK and London speaks volumes when we don't feel safe around them, because I know I definitely don't, from considering how they've been acting, and the fact that both cases are related to police, like several are anyways. It's just disgusting. Anyways, let me know your thoughts are when it comes to this. Subscribe to the channel, click that button. It is daily and consistent content. I would appreciate it. Do click that button and subscribe, and I will catch you guys soon for another video. I am doing a Love Island finale event. For those who watched the show, there's one ticket left. A percentage of the ticket proceeds are being donated to Sister Space as well, a charity that helps support women going through sexual and domestic forms of abuse. Put your money where your mouth is if you can. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys soon for another review.